Hey there! So today is Earth Day, so it's a super special day as a farmer and on the farm here, and there's a lot of things we are proud of that we've done here in the past couple months, and I want to share some of those with you. I want to talk a little bit about Earth Day, as well as today is going to be our first farm stand. So our first official farm stand here at the farm, and we're just beyond excited to be able to open this up to our community. So take you along for a little bit of the harvest as well, and a lot of cool stuff to share with you guys, and just really happy about things. And I went and looked at some old footage yesterday, actually the video I did about closing my farm and coming down here, and there was a bunch of footage of the farm before I'd even started any of the projects here, and so I want to show you some befores and afters. As you can see, we have a lot to be proud of here at Raleigh City Farm. We've done so much in the last 2.5 months, and personally what I'm most proud of is the people involved here and the things we've accomplished, and it's just been incredible. So I'll talk a little bit about, now what Earth Day means to me and the farm here and sort of as a farmer. But first, I actually want to admit that I didn't know much about Earth Day as a movement and the history behind it. And so to me, Earth Day was always that thing like in elementary school where, oh, it's Earth Day, and then your teacher does a lesson on environmental stuff or planting a seed, or, and you think about it for a day, and then that's it. But Earth Day has some really serious history to it, and I just want to share a little bit with you. I'm not going to read all this, but I'll leave a link down below if you want to check out more. This is from earthday.org. But basically, in 1969, Senator Gaylord Nelson, who was from Wisconsin, basically him and others, after seeing I'm paraphrasing here, but a big oil spill in Santa Barbara, was sort of motivated to do something about this, and basically wanted to infuse all the energy of the anti-war protests going on in the late 60s, early 70s, and basically him and a Republican congressman named Pete McCloskey set this up to do an infusion of teaching and stuff at college campuses. And the reason why April 22nd was chosen was because it was really a day that was in between spring break and finals. So it was a way to maximize the amount of people that, college students that were going to be involved. And so it was just a really cool thing that started and inspired a lot of people. And at that time, 1970 was the first year, so today is the 50th anniversary. 20 million Americans, and at that time was 10% of the total population, to take to streets, parks, and auditoriums to do demonstrations. So it was a big deal. And after that, there was a lot of things that it led to. It led to, by the end of 1970, the creation of the United States Environmental Protection Agency and a bunch of laws like the National Environmental Education Act, Occupational Safety and Health Act, the Clean Air Act, and a couple other things within the next couple of years. So it did have a huge impact, and I believe, reading further here, like in 1990 it was made global. And so the idea behind it is super solid, and I obviously haven't really participated in tons of Earth Day activities, but it feels like a good thing to share today, and obviously having our first farm stand is huge too. But what I want to talk about in terms of my personal take and sort of as a farmer is that, we talk about a lot of regenerative and sustainable practices on this channel, and other channels you guys might follow or books you might read, and I think the things that I'm proud of here at the farm is using as many waste stream sources as possible as inputs. So I always talk about this, like don't get hung up on using this input or that input. Like, try to think about ways that you can incorporate waste streams in your garden at home, your homestead, or your farm. So if it's generating your own compost from food waste and crop residue and animal manure on your property, or for us, we're using compost that's mainly generated with food waste from local universities and colleges. We use wood chips from local tree companies. Some of the amendments we'll be using later on in the year are generated locally from waste streams. So I think any way that we can take a waste stream that would necessarily, would probably wind up in a landfill or just, not creating any direct purpose or reuse, and using that on your farm, I think is huge. So I don't know, that's where I'm at right now, and I'm just really happy to be sharing this with you guys. And we're gonna do another harvest today, so let me show you that. Another thing that's a big goal of mine and the people that are involved here is really getting this farm to look really beautiful. And I think there's a lot of times with production farms where it's like, oh, it's a production farm, so we just gotta, like, everything's just gotta be sort of utilitarian. And I think there's to a point that you need to do that, but part of it is, like, if you keep the utility part of the farm really tidy and organized, it makes the farm look beautiful also. And so, we put in hedgerows, and that's a beneficial biological benefit that we're trying to put in, as well as making the place look really beautiful. But another thing here is Gene and Dave are working on this project, and this is something that's pretty simple, but will make the farm look a lot better and just make it look more tidy, and so when people come, it's just not piles of things everywhere. So building a little structure here to hold the compost, so when the compost gets dumped, they know where to dump it, and it's just not spreading out everywhere, and it'll look tidy. It's like, oh, that's where we keep our compost. So little things like that make the farm really nice. Well, that's definitely an example of one of those projects that it's sort of a small thing in the overall, like, whole picture of the farm, but it's one of those things that will add to the functionality and making it really nice. So just thanks to Gene and Dave for taking care of that. What we got coming up the end of this week is we're going to build out another block, another 8-bed block, and that's what we're calling Block A. So this over here, this has been tarped for a while. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna pull off the tarp and just get our beds and stuff straightened out, measure it out, put in the stakes. So we're gonna be building this out on Saturday. When we get a couple volunteers here to help, so like we've done before, but today we're gonna get this all prepped out. I got this all straight and got all the bed markers banged in, so this block is all ready to go for this weekend. The last few times we did this all on the same day. We'd pull off the tarp, flame weed, whatever's there, and then put down the stakes. But we had a little bit extra time today, so I figured we'll get the stakes in now. We'll pull the tarp over for a couple more days. But you can see also, hopefully you can see down in the corner over here, we had to pull out a bunch of dirt here because this was like wood chips and stuff that were piled up here, and we had to sort of carve that out for the beds to sit in. So that is all ready to go. So this bed is ready to go besides pulling off the tarp and flame weeding, but we should be all set for bed building. Well, the afternoon finished up with a couple of small projects like usual. One thing is we replaced the hydrant that was leaking, so we have another hydrant hooked up to our rainwater system, which is awesome. But the big news today, not just that it's Earth Day, but the farm stand is open, and this is the first time we've officially opened the farm stand on a regular schedule, and it's just been cool. So we just opened. We have a bunch of people here from our community that are really happy to support us and are here to buy produce, and we also have those herbs and vegetables for sale that were donated, so help us fundraise a little bit more. But look at this crew out here.
Yeah, and the variety and the amount.
Just couldn't really be any happier. Just awesome to see the community support here, and this is what it's all about, is having people come here, support the farm, come to the farm and get the food where it's grown. It's just unbelievable. So it's been almost an hour since we've been open, and we're going to be doing these farm stands Wednesday nights from 4 to 7, and the response today has just been incredible. People stopping by from the community and it just feels really special. I know I say that a lot, but the community support's been great. The weather's fantastic today. It's also Earth Day. It's just an awesome moment for Raleigh City Farm, and for myself. I just feel great about it. The line has emptied several times. It's been great. A lot of people coming through. I'm sure we'll probably be able to sell most of what we put out today for sale, and also the plant sale has been helping too. Even had an old customer of mine come by from when I was doing home delivery, so that was just super special to see her. And just overall, just awesome. And I feel really grateful and really happy to be involved in the community here, and that we're open for business and we're actually selling food to our community, which is what the goal is here. So just feels great, and just want to share with you guys. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.